Okay, guys, so I have, after that video yesterday, I started thinking, I'm going to do some different camera angles. So let's do some different camera angles. So, hope everybody's doing well. I am here today to talk about pocket debris. And I think we all know what pocket debris is. That is debris. At the end of the day, when you get home and you dump out your pockets, you have pocket debris. It could be screws, it could be little parts off of locks. If you're in an electronics field, it could be connectors, plumbing, HVAC, stuff like that, little connectors, stuff like that that you take in on jobs and you don't use them. So you just drop them in your pocket, and at the end of the day, you dump them out, and it accumulates over time, and it's what I call pocket debris. I'm sure you have your own name for it, crap or whatever, but yeah, pocket debris. So this was not supposed to last very long, so I'm going to bring this down. I'm just checking out that angle, messing around, but I wanted to zoom in on what I have as pocket debris. So this is probably a week's worth that has been built up, or either was at one time sitting in my van, because start off with a note. That's just a note to remind myself to buy batteries for remotes. That's the 2 batteries I need. This was taken in on a job to, I thought I was going to need it for an installation, and I did not end up needing it. Everything in this bag, every other day, it was emptied and taken out. But I will point out, first off, that the very last thing that you want to have as pocket debris is these pointy ass screws, because they will jab into your leg, especially if you wear blue jeans. So this is not actual pocket debris. This was debris that I took out and brought back, didn't use on the job. It went into the bag because the bag's going in the back of the truck. That way when I pull out a bin that has those screws in it, or my organizer that's got that type of screw in it, I will move it back into that plastic bin. So the actual pocket debris is from several different jobs. These are cams. Now this was sitting in my truck. I took it out of my pocket and put it up by where my Coke is in my truck, so it's kind of gross, and it probably needs to be washed off. But this was a Scorpion. I was having tailpiece issues with something, and I needed it to be the opposite hole pattern there. So those are cams for Scorpion, and I think I was trying to use it on an Asa or something, I don't recall. This little key right here was found when I was cleaning up, and it's just going to go in with my oddball little key section. So these fellas were used on an antique job where you have the threaded spindle that the knob, it screws into the knob and then into the spindle. And we'll see that they are an oddball thread. It's a 1224 thread, and this is kind of the only brass screw that's available commercially easily, like at a hardware store, to match this old style head. And you have to put it in a drill and grind the head down with a file to make it look right. So that was used on an antique job, and it's leftovers. We have some faceplate screws that go on Adam's right. Little tiny short 8/32, I believe, used to hold the faceplate on Adam's right, Baldwin, any mortise lock that uses a face plate on the edge of the door. Looks like we have a 1/4-inch nut with a 1/4-inch lock washer. Invariably, that was probably used on a door closer, or somebody had used it on a door closer and I took it off. No telling. And lastly, I have a little security stainless Torx that somehow made its way out of the kit. I've been building up my stainless variety, especially the security headed Torx, and that somehow was used. I took it out to do something with, obviously, and never used it. So again, just dump all these once they get collected to the point where I need to start sorting them, put them in a bag so that I can switch them out. And let's see what today's which I just cleaned it out. Front pocket wallet. So obviously I'm not going to have much debris right now. But aside from the change, it looks like I'm only carrying my Schlage tailpieces, which is pretty much an EDC. I carry these because we work on a lot of these Schlage locks. B160, I'm always rekeying these, and I'm always having to replace that tailpiece in them, and that tailpiece breaks right there. And it is a very common replacement part down in this area still, even though these types of deadbolts are discontinued. One's for a standard door, one's for a thick door. So that is what I have those for. I have this from actually yesterday, the storefront ring for a mortise cylinder spacer ring. Now the one thing I will say about those, and kind of pinging off my video from yesterday, is the one thing about these aluminum rings and bags. I mentioned getting 2x4 bags. If you do not protect these rings and you just throw them in your truck, they will get dirty, they'll get scuffed, and it's nasty. So as soon as I get a bag of 10 rings in, these rings aren't cheap, and especially when you go over the stainless steel, they're not cheap, but the aluminum, to avoid them getting discolored in any way, I will immediately individually bag them. And they're bags of 10, so that uses 10 of those bags. So that keeps it at least looking good in the meantime. You can't even stack them together because they'll scratch each other. So that's what I do. And they come loose in a bag, but when you take them out of the bag, if you look closely at them, you can see where they had hit into each other. So I individually bag these bad boys. So anyway, that is my pocket. I'm going to put my wallet back before I forget it. So anyway, that is my pocket debris. I know you all have your own pocket debris. So let me know in the comments what your common pocket debris is. Another thing you never want to have in your pocket is drill bits, because they will punch a hole right through your pocket. But it is debris from jobs usually where they got to go back in the same spot. So yeah, just let me know what your pocket debris is, whether it's screws or wire connectors, or if you try not to have any pocket debris, if you don't like carrying anything in your pockets, completely understandable. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and y'all take it easy.